Hey guys, Emirax here, bringing you a list of some of the best mid laners for the solo queue. We kind of strayed away from our usual top 10 and compile a list of 15 champions that we feel currently work for the mid lane. Guys, now this video is currently based off the current standing in the meta and patches, and be sure to subscribe to get updated lists after any changes have been made. And feel free to comment with any concerns or anything, questions regarding this video. So guys, hope you enjoy. Starting my list off at number 15 is going to be Heim. Now, Heim is a champion that's usually hated in the mid lane because he's very safe and he's got a lot of burst damage, and he has low mana cost, so he's just an overall fun champion to play. And unless you're playing against a Syndra, but that's a different story, guys. As the cons for him, he's very squishy, and once your towers are down, and you kind of are very vulnerable, and also you're countered by smite those turrets, so ganking, if smite's up for the jungler, it's not as big of a deal to them to kind of push your lane, but for the most part you will be ignored in the mid lane, so that's always a little perk. And additionally, you have the lowest base stat, not the lowest, but it is one of the lower base stats in the game at 335, so it's something taking effect, but you are a very safe laner. It's nothing too big. Just buy your boots early, guys. And coming at number 14 is going to be Diana. Diana is one of those champions that you don't really see too much in the mid lane anymore, but she's got a lot of burst damage. She's very mobile, especially with the QR, the combo, low cooldowns, and she can be built very tanky and still deal a huge amount of damage. I have seen actually a few of these recently in ranked. A lot of people are playing Diana very tanky now, kind of very similar to other champions that will be on this list. And she's got a little bit of learning curve, a little bit of practice, nothing too extreme, and she can be bullied a little bit early, so be sure to take a point in your shield and just kind of play it safe until you hit about level 6. That's when she shows her true potential. Coming at number 13 is going to be a champion that you really don't see much this season, and even in last season too. It's going to be Talon. Now, Talon's just a champion that's kind of a little odd to play. He doesn't work too well, but he does have some potential, and that's kind of why he's on my list compared to people like Vel'Koz, which I omitted from my list. He kind of took the spot over him. Just the thing is, he's just got the AD damage, which I like. He's got the strong burst, he's got the silence, the AoE damage, and the escapes. The only real con is he's got no hard CC, and his early game can be a little difficult. But I mean, Talon's just a really fun champion to play, so I think you guys should go check him out at least. Coming at number 12, my list is going to be Kass. Now, Kass is a champion that a lot of people actually kind of ignored after his rework, but he got buffed in a patch following that, and he has a lot more potential, in my opinion, than he did before. He's a lot stronger, he's got shields and stuff, so I think his high mobility, his strong ganking potential, and his ability to snowball still is something that's going to be really good in solo queue, and a lot of people don't recognize it yet, so he's not going to be banned, and people aren't going to be worried about counter picking you. So I think it's a good pick, and something you guys should really try. Definitely suggested. Probably the most suggested on my list right now. And he's really weak early. I mean, aside from that, you guys do understand nothing really has changed with his melee range or anything. And the new playstyle is kind of a little bit of a con, but good pick overall. You guys should definitely check it out. Coming at number 11 on my list is going to be Katarina. Now, Katarina is one of those champions that has been seen in the mid lane for a long time now. A lot of people are already probably very familiar with her ability to snowball, huge AoE damage, and her high mobility. Not really much counter potential here, I mean, aside from the CC, and she's kind of pre-weak items, and has a tendency to, a lot of people can try to go in on her before 6. So, I mean, that's something to take into consideration, and she also has a melee attack range. But, I mean, aside from that, guys, Katarina is a very solid pick, huge damage, and can carry games. So, definitely recommended for the solo queue. Next on my list is going to be a champion with on the God tier list, and also has one of the highest win rates now of any of these champions on my list. That's going to be Kayle. Now, Kayle's got the range harass, the healing abilities, and vulnerability. She's just a good, solid pick. Good escapes and overall. She is kind of attack speed dependent, and her early game is a little iffy, but she's really strong and can carry hard late game if you get her going. She is farm reliant, and I mean, she has no 1v1 potential really early. So usually around 7 to 9 is when she gets really strong, and that's usually when I tend to start making some plays. And I think Kayle has a lot of potential. You guys should check her out, especially for 450 champ. You can't go wrong. Coming at number 9 on the list is going to be Veigar. Now, Veigar is a champion you don't really tend to see too much, but has a lot of potential, got huge AoE stun, one of the best, actually the highest burst damage in the game, unlimited scaling on your AP, you can have potentials in thousands Just you know, you get really rolling with the farm potential. You know, you got just, you know, amazing late game performance. You got a high skill cap on Veigar though. That is his biggest drawback, believe it or not. You know, and he's got long cooldowns, so his burst potential isn't consistent. That's why he's only number 9 on my list. But you know, yeah, good pick. You can't go wrong with Veigar, aside from his annoying voice. Number 8 on my list is going to be Yasuo. Now, Yasuo is a champion that is kind of new to the game, and a lot of people have seen his true potential. The only downside is he is AD, which can mess up a team composition. But aside from that, guys, he's got that really strong late game. He's got that high mobility, the ×2 crit, and the multi-target knockup. Now, going back on the cons, he's got item dependency. He's really weak early until you can actually get, you know, a static shiv at least. He tends to overpush because he's got such great wave clearing abilities. He's melee range. Landing 7 on my list is going to be Ahri. Now, Ahri is a champion that actually I personally have, out of all my champions, have the highest win rate in ranked. So I can speak for myself. Try not to be biased here. She's just really good. She's got that great sustain, low cooldowns, and has huge mobility. She's got a lot of burst damage, and the only con here I can really see is she's kind of skill shot dependent. Weak early game, and nothing too major. I tend that you kind of need a little bit of CDR or mana regen to unleash your true potential, and definitely once you get Deathfire Grasp, you know, you are unstoppable. You're very squishy as Ahri, so you know, getting an Hourglass early is very good and crucial, helps you survive, and I think Ahri's a great pick. I'm trying not to be biased, guys, but I think she's probably the most solid pick on my list. Coming number 6 on my list is going to be Swain. Now, I can actually speak for this myself as well. Swain is a great champion. He's got huge amounts of sustain with his ultimate, and he's very strong in the laning phase. And aside from that, he's very tanky, probably one of the most tankiest mid laners on the list. So aside from all these pros, I have to dive into the cons, which I don't think there's that many, aside from the fact that just farming is really bad with Swain. Your animation's a little sluggish, and it doesn't really do as much damage as you think. And landing Nevermore is kind of crucial. So, you know, once you get these kind of out of the way, you guys a little practice on him, you can get him going and just carry really hard, especially in team fight situations, especially when you have Hourglass. You know, if you guys aren't familiar with Swain, you can actually use your ultimate, then go into Hourglass, which will allow you to get health back as you're in stasis, which means, you know, you just are unkillable. You can carry games very hard as Swain, so I recommend him if you are looking for a solo queue. Next on my list is going to be Akali. Now, Akali is one of those champions that's got really good sustain as well. Spell Vamp is kind of her big thing. She's got a really good duelist, and she's got strong roaming potential. So, that's why she's on my list. You know, there's a few things that make up a good mid laner, and I don't want to dive too much into this right now, but, you know, I think Akali is really good at the mid lane. She does her job exceptionally well, and the only con I really have with Akali is she's kind of snowball reliant, and she's countered by pink wards. Now, for some reason I'm looking on the screen, it says ping wards. Try to ignore that, guys, my bad. But yeah, that's not too much of a big deal. Most people actually aren't smart enough to get pink wards, so nothing to worry there, guys. So, you know, if you're in a duo queue with a jungler, if you can get rolling as Akali, you will carry and you will do really well. Number 4 on my list is going to be Zed. Now, Zed's one of those champions that I kind of want to just put off the side as pros and cons and just say the reason why he isn't lower is his AD. Something that has to be addressed, you know, guys. If you're a lower elo, it's not that big of a deal, but a higher elos, this is crucial. Team composition is, you know, key. Champ select is what kind of helps you win games. So I just want to point out, guys, having an AD champion messes up your team comp unless you have like a Rumble or Vladimir or something in the top lane that's not going to be AD, or you have a jungler who is going to be AP. So it's not that big of a deal if you know how to work with it. Most people really don't, and most people don't have that good of communications in the bronze and silver elos, so it's something to take note. To dive into his pros, he's really good at dueling, he's got high mobility, and he's mana list. Pretty straightforward. His only con is he's really skill cap required, and he has no hard CC. So, I mean, a little bit of practice with this guy, you can just really just mess things up. You're an assassin, and you do it exceptionally well. So, coming at number 3 on my list is going to be Fizz. Now, Fizz is a champion that is very seen in the mid lane commonly. He's got one-shot potential, strong laner, high mobility. and has hard matchups. Landing his ultimate kind of requires a little bit of practice, and he is very hated. His trickster and plaything is just hated. I mean, like, you can negate damage with Fizz. It's actually kind of funny to see people rage, and so I think, you know, Fizz is a great pick. And even after the Lich Bane changes, he's actually a lot stronger. You know, the only difference I see with Fizzes today is you actually have to change your skill up level. You know, you can't max things in certain orders the way you used to be able to maximize your damage. But, I mean, aside from that, guys, that's not a big deal. You guys should go check out Fizz. One of my long-term favorites coming in number 2 is going to be LeBlanc. LeBlanc's got a lot of burst damage. Scary burst damage. Very mobile, especially if you use her ultimate with the side from her W. She's got strong laning phase presence, you know, especially at level 3, so you can kind of go all in. And especially when you hit level 6, you have a lot of damage on your plate, even with actually making no B to get items. Your double QQ combo does a lot of damage, and the silence is just something that is really nice on top of all of that. Her only con is she, you know, requires a little bit of practice to get used to her. She can fall behind if she doesn't get items or gold, matter of fact, you know, kills or anything. She is very squishy, and aside from that, guys, I think you guys should check out LeBlanc. And last but not least, number 1 is going to be Ziggs. Now, Ziggs is a champion that is very expected to be on this list. He's got a huge amount of poke, he's got low mana cost, he's got high burst damage, and he's got strong escapes. He's got, the only con to him is he tends to be, you know, require a little bit of positioning, especially with your ultimate, and his abilities can be dodged. Nothing too major there, guys, but Ziggs is just fun to play. Riot has tried slapping him on the wrist, you know, to prevent his overpowered situation, as you would call it, in the mid lane, but it's just really fun to play, and I think you guys should definitely check him out. A lot of versatility to him. I like him. You guys should definitely play him, and he works very well in the late game, works very well in the early game. So, guys, I decided to make him number 1. So, guys, be sure to check him out. And another great thing about Ziggs is you can actually ult lanes with actually have to walk like 5 feet from your own. Such huge range. It's just nice to play.